Cześć, dzień dobry wszystkim, Mufik z tej strony i zapraszam Was na odcinek z serii Kingdom Come Deliverance, w którym Henryk znajdzie się na tropie bandy, która najechała Neuhof. Ostatnio udało nam się wydobyć informacje od księdza, także to co ja teraz zrobię to najpierw przeskoczę przez płot, a teraz możemy się rozejrzeć, gdzie to trzeba nam się udać. Ohoho, niezły kawałek, niezły. Znajdź śmierdziela w tamtej okolicy. No nic, no to szybka podróż w takim wypadku i to chyba najlepiej będzie do młynu. Przekimałem się jeszcze w młynie. Możemy w takim wypadku jechać już szukać naszego śmierdziela. Ok, jestem w ledeczku. Myślę, że mogę powoli zacząć próbować rozpytywać o naszego kolegę. Kim ty jesteś?
What have we here?
Jesus Christ be praised.
I'm looking for a fellow called Riki. Do you know him?
Riki? You mean Hinak, the courier's son?
Maybe. Do you know where I might find him?
No, he's not usually around here. Try asking at his home. But I hope you've got a thick skin. The old courier ain't exactly charming.
So you know this Hinek. Can you tell me something about him?
Well, not much, I confess. Most of the village folk avoid him like the plague.
Why's that?
Well, no one with a nose likes spending too much time around tanners, and that Riki keeps bad company. I've never heard a good word said about him.
What can you tell me about the old courier?
He's as cantankerous as a hog in a thorn bush. He won't talk to anyone.
Why do they call Hinek Riki anyway?
He's a tanner, isn't he? If you ever get downwind of him, you'd understand. Tanning isn't a trade for a weak stomach.
True enough, but not every courier gets cursed with a name like that.
Well, Hinnick's nature's no sweeter than his smell.
Ciekaw jestem, czy oni właśnie przywykają do tego zapachu, czy i nos to wypiera i ignoruje.
Why has he got such a bad name?
Well, like his old man, he doesn't talk much to anyone. And then he's always skulking off somewhere. I heard he got a taste of the pillory in Rate for thieving. And in Neuhof, he got boozed up in the alehouse with his cronies, and they beat up some merchants.
So a bit more than high spirits.
Just so. We're all honest folk here, and we've no use for the likes of him.
Don't tell me there's not a single person who talks to him.
Well, he's been seen around with one of the bathhouse wenches. Adela, I believe she's called. Good luck to you.
God be with you. Do you need anything?
What can you tell me about this Hinek?
What can I tell you? No, he's none too popular. No one cares to talk to him.
Why not?
Well, I'm not one to gossip, but I heard he keeps bad company.
What's the tanner like? Hinek's father.
The less I see of him, the better. He's not exactly sparkling company.
Why do they call him Riki anyway?
Why do you think? Because he's a tanner, of course.
So why don't people like him?
The old tanner's not an easy man, but his son should never let his father down. Hinek does nothing to help. He's always far too busy with his own affairs, though I wouldn't like to say what those are.
And does no one at all talk to him?
That harlot Adela hangs around with him, of course.
Harlot?
She works as a bathhouse wench. Same thing. Take care.
Dowiedzieliśmy się paru przydatnych informacji. Wystarczyło tak naprawdę pierwszych lepszych ludzi zaczepić i już coś wiemy. Gdzie bym się tu mógł właśnie na mapie, rozejrzyjmy się, co tu jest. Porozmawiaj z łaziebną, z którą spotyka się śmierdziel, znajdź śmierdziela i porozmawiaj z ojcem śmierdziela. Dobra, ojciec jest najbliżej, więc najpierw jego zaczepię. Gdzieś tutaj, tak? No to daleko na tym koniu nie ujechałem. No. Dzień dobry. Jest ktoś w domu? Uuu. Pan kolega w ciężkim stanie. Tu ma drzwi. Ja to lubię kółka robić. To jeszcze musiałbym się włamać. Jest tak wcześnie rano, że gość mi nie chce otworzyć. No właśnie, wstawaj. No wystarczyło zrobić 2 kółka wokół jego domu i... Halo? O, właśnie. Bardzo dobrze. Co tutaj robisz? Przyszedłem z tobą porozmawiać, typie.
What the? Good health to you.
I'm looking for your son. Any idea where he might be?
I don't know nothing.
Don't you at least know where he usually goes? It's important.
Hinek shows up at home once in a blue moon, so I don't know nothing about where he gets to. Even if I did, why would I tell every Tom, Dick and Harry?
Tak, opłacało się zainwestować w ten talent, który mi pokazuje statystyki moich rozmówców, bo dzięki temu łatwo możemy zdecydować, co powinniśmy zrobić. Tutaj na przykład mogę spokojnie wybrać
Your son is about to
retorykę.
get into deep shit. I'm trying to find him so I can warn him.
That's nothing new. He's always up to his ears in it.
But this time his neck's on the block. He got mixed up with some very dangerous people. I have to find him.
All right. He was here a few days ago, but he left right away. He looked like he was in a hurry.
And you don't know where he went?
I've got an idea, but I don't know where it is exactly.
I don't follow.
Hinek makes some money on the side from poaching. He boasted to me a few times about what a great hideout he found in the woods, but he never told me where it is.
Well, it's not much to
A
go
tu
on.
niedobry
It's
chłopczyk.
better than nothing. Thank you. I'd like to talk to you about your Hinek.
I'm very busy, so make it quick.
Do you at least know any friends he's with or someone he goes to see?
As far as I know, nobody here in the village talks to him.
I heard he's seeing some bathhouse wench.
Maybe. He can't get it for free, so I suppose he has to go to the baths.
Don't you have any clue at all where his hideout could be?
I really don't know nothing about that. I could tell when he'd come from there, is all.
How's that?
Because every time he brought some hides for tanning and money.
He had money because he sold the stuff right away.
I suppose. He never kept any of his loot here.
Do you know who he sold it to?
No. But the innkeeper came here now and again and gave him coin. Of course, it could have been for meat.
All right. I'll ask at the inn then. What more do you know?
Nothing. I swear to God Almighty, I've said all I know.
I
Hinek never
co
told
się
me
tak
nothing.
turbujesz, chłopie?
I know he didn't talk to you about it, but you must have noticed something, right? How much time did he spend away? What was he wearing? How did he look when he came back? Anything?
Well, he came and went at all sorts of hours. I really don't know. Except maybe one thing. He'd come home scratched with brambles and with leaves and muck on him.
So he probably went through thick woods to get to that place.
I reckon. What do I know? Go. And if he's really in as much shit as you say, please, try and find him.
No nic. Strasznie nerwowy gość. Ale trochę pomógł, także... Gdzie ten oberżysta? Co my tutaj mamy? Znajdź śmierdziela, porozmawiaj z łazienną. Dobra, no to polecę właśnie w tej kolejności. Wychodzi na to, że po tej mojej wstępnej rozmowie z tym wieśniakiem i wieśniaczką na samym początku, to już nikt nic więcej nie chce się podzielić na temat śmierdziela, także szukam tej łaziebnej, która Powinna gdzieś tutaj być. Może wszedłem o jeden budynek za daleko. Zobaczmy tutaj. Tutaj. Ziemna Adela. To z tobą chcę rozmawiać.
God be with you. What can I do for you?
I heard you've been seeing Hinek, the tanner's son.
So what? Come to preach at me, have you? That I'm a loose woman, a sinner, that I
A rób se co chcesz, kobieto.
God, no, nothing like that. It's just that you're the only one in the village who sees Hinek, so I came to ask you about him.
Aye, I've seen him often enough. I don't know what I could tell you about him.
Where can I find Hinek?
I haven't seen him in the village for a few days. He must have run off to the woods again.
Does he do that often?
From time to time.
What the hell does he get up to there?
I don't know.
Look, Hinek's my friend, and I really need to know where he is and what he's doing.
But I already told you I don't know where he's got to.
So I suppose he just goes to the woods to pick mushrooms, does he?
Mushrooms? No. More like hares or other game.
So Hinek is a poacher? That's no surprise.
Well, he was never much of one for an honest trade.
Do you know exactly where he goes? Maybe he has some favourite spot he might have told you about?
He said he has some hideout in the woods, but he didn't tell me where.
When did you last see him?
A few days ago. He came to me late in the evening, drunk.
And that was unusual?
I never saw him drink much. He always came to me sober.
So he was acting strangely that evening?
He was strange. I had the feeling he was afraid of something. He kept prattling on and didn't seem to care about you know what. So I threw him out and I haven't seen him since.
Can you remember anything he said that evening?
Oh, I'm not sure. He went on about some fellow called Lubosh who died. That he was regretting he ever got into it, but he never said what it was. And that it wasn't worth it for the money. Aye, and then he was talking about the money. That was very odd.
What did he say about the money?
Just that he had a pile of it hidden behind his house.
I see. What
O
did you say to
proszę.
that?
What could I say? He was drunk. He kept saying I was a fine girl and other harlots wouldn't go with him even for money. And if I wanted, I could even take half the money and leave. Or he'd go with me and we could get married and such. Oh, just poppycock.
Did you go there for a look?
No, I've got better things to do. Obviously he made it up. Where would a layabout like him get so much coin?
Yes, I understand. Did he tell you exactly where he hid it?
He said he buried it at his father's small holding, in the western corner.
All right, thank you.
Czyli tam, gdzie przed chwilą byliśmy.
Is it true?
What?
Other whores wouldn't go with him even for money.
The other bathhouse girls are honest, so I don't know. The truth is, I felt a bit sorry for him. Folk don't like him, but it's only 'cause his old man is a grouch and a tanner.
I heard they don't like him because he keeps company with villains.
True enough, but they didn't like him before that either. Or me. They're close-minded yokels. Both of us are the black sheep of the village.
There's nothing more between you?
No, nothing. Maybe Hinek thinks differently, but that's how it goes.
Is it true?
What?
Other whores wouldn't go...
The other bathhouse girls.
So you only felt sorry for him?
Both of us are the black sheep of the village.
There's nothing more between you?
No, nothing.
Another thing about...
What is it?
I found out that Hinek goes poaching in the woods and he's got a hideout there. What do you know about it? Don't worry. Hinek has much bigger problems than being caught poaching. And you're not involved in it anyway, are you?
No, I'm not. It's true he used to go hunting in the woods sometimes, When he came back, he'd usually come to me. That's all.
How did you know he'd been to the woods?
He always talked about what he caught, and he never came to me at other times. Probably didn't have the money for it.
Do you know who he sold it to?
He never told me straight up. But who could he sell it to? The innkeeper, I reckon. It makes sense.
For sure. Do you know what route he took? At least the general direction. Anything that could help me find his hideout.
I think he usually went through the woodcutter's camp, because he always brought me freshly chopped firewood, and he had wood chips on his boots.
Good. So at least I know where to start. Another thing about the money.
What is it?
Did you go there?
No.
Yes, I know. Did he tell you?
He said he...
All right.
Dobra, to by były chyba wszystkie opcje dialogowe z Adele. Z Adelą. I w takim wypadku, zanim polecę dalej, czyli do oberżysty, to może karniemy się z powrotem do domu i spróbujemy znaleźć ten schowek. Darmowe hajsy. Zawsze na propsie. Dobra, typiara mówiła, że w zachodnim fragmencie działki ma to być. Jeżeli mapa pokazuje w ten sposób, no to najbardziej zachodni fragment działki będzie gdzieś tutaj. Tu? O, jest, zacznij kopać. Nie masz łopaty. Dobra, zrobiłem to tak z przyczajki przez płot, żeby mnie ten gościu nie wyhaczył, że mu wlazłem na działkę, bo przedtem tu przylazł za mną. Na szczęście się udało. I teraz pytanie, co my tu zgarnęliśmy? Było trochę grosza. Opłacało się kupić łopatę u niedalekiego kowala, z tego co widzę. I mamy solidną przeszywnicę. No nic, dobra. To zawijam manaty i lecimy już do oberży w takim razie. Za niecałe 2 grosze wykupiłem sobie miejsce w tawernie, żeby się przekimać. Zostawiłem to, co zawinęliśmy ze skrytki, tak żeby przypadkiem nikogo nie bolało w oczy, nie kłuło. I co, możemy pogadać z oberżystą.
I want to ask about the courier's son, Hinek.
And ask someone else. They have nothing to do with Riki. He'd only drive my customers away.
Really? I heard a different story. I heard the two of you do business together.
Who are you, anyway?
A friend of Hinek's. He's gone missing and I need to find him.
I don't know where he is. But if you find the bastard, tell him he still owes me some goods.
Okej, czyli tak, praktycznie wszystko mam. Wszystkie te opcje mamy dostępne z tego co widzę. Spójmy w ten
I
sposób.
don't give a damn what deals you've been doing together. I won't tell anyone. I just need to know where Riki is. It's urgent.
What have our deals got to do with where he disappeared to?
More than you think. It's likely Riki is hiding out at his poaching lair. And believe me, it wasn't hard to find out who was buying game from him, and it's even easier to go to the castle and tell them. Poaching's a crime, after all.
All right, all right. But give me your word of honor you won't tell anyone about our deal.
You have my word.
Fine. So, what do you want to know?
I hear Hinek has a hideout in the woods he uses for hunting game. Do you know where it is?
Not exactly. That is... I don't know where it is at all. But I happen to know it's a dark place, a cave or an old mine shaft.
How do you know that?
Whenever Riki was going poaching, he always came to me first for candles and lamp oil. He brought the game skinned and gutted, so we had to have a light for that.
How much game did he bring you?
Not much, a few pieces. There's no great demand here. Sometimes the gentry has something, otherwise it ends up in sausages.
And do you know of any mine shafts nearby?
There's a few of them around. There's one on the opposite bank, a short way off the path leading from the forge to the west. Then there's a mine gallery to the east of the village, up in the woods above the cliffs. And I heard there's one shaft on the headland close to the water.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Watch you don't break your neck, though. It's rough ground, and you could easily fall down a shaft. May the Lord watch over you.
Okej, no coś się więcej dowiedzieliśmy od oberżysty. Ale rozstrzał. Yeah. Jeszcze można by spróbować spytać w obozowisku drwali. Dobra, no to myślę, że tak możemy zrobić. Jedna jaskinia i tak jest tam po drodze. To wołam konia, chodź płotka, jedziemy. Dotarłem do obozu drwali. Zobaczmy, czego się tutaj uda dowiedzieć.
God be with you.
I'm looking for Hinek, the courier's son. I hear he sometimes comes here. Have you seen him?
Aye, he comes stinking round here sometimes. Ask Raspberry, he knows him.
Przychodzi i śmierć.
You'll spot him easy enough. His face is red as a raspberry.
I'm looking for Hinek, the courier's.
Aye, he comes stinking round.
Who's Raspberry?
You'll spot him. God be with you.
No okej. Trochę pusto. Jest drwal.
No! Clear off! Let me sleep!
Ten nie chce współpracować. Rozmawiaj z drwalem zwanym Maliną. A tu jest jeszcze jakiś typ. Dobra. Nie widziałem go. Tak się zakamuflował. Ale to zwykły drwal.
Good day to you.
I'm looking for Hinek, the courier's son. I hear he sometimes comes here. Have you seen him?
Riki? Aye, he's here now and again. Best ask Raspberry. He's friends with him.
Who's Raspberry?
You'll spot him easy enough. His face is red as a raspberry. Good luck to you.
Jest i Malina. No rzeczywiście. Trochę taki... czerwony.
God be with you.
Your mates say you know Hinek, the courier's son.
Riki. Aye, he shows up here sometimes. Why do you ask?
I'm trying to find him.
Good luck then.
What do you mean?
Riki is like some bloody hedgehog, always creeping around in the woods. And just as prickly.
So you see him there often?
More like we don't see him.
Has he been here recently?
A few days ago. He came by in the evening, well into his cups. He might have fallen somewhere and broken his neck for all I know.
So he went into the woods?
Aye, like always.
How do you know him?
We worked together building a mill by Yanovitz, and then he vanished. A year later I came here to work, and lo and behold, there's Riki.
Do you know what he gets up to in the woods?
What do you reckon? Making money. It's no secret he goes poaching.
You're speaking as if that's perfectly legal.
No, that's not allowed. I know. I mean, I think he might be poaching. But maybe he's gathering firewood.
Oj, chłopie, ale kojarzysz fakty.
Firewood, of course.
Tak, dokładnie. I grzyby na zupę też zbiera.
I hear Riki has a hideout in the woods somewhere. Do you know where it is?
Aye, I think I was there once.
You think? What does that mean? Either you were there
No
or
właśnie.
you weren't.
Well, once me and Hinek had a bit of a drink together here, and we ran out of ale. Hinek said he had some stashed away in the woods, so off we went.
But do you remember anything about it? The direction or which path you took?
Aye, I can tell you exactly. We went from the edge of the camp here along the path down to the creek. A
Czyli tam
little
skąd
upstream,
przyjechałem.
There's a fallen tree bridging the water. We went across it to the other side, then we went uphill to a big boulder. You have to listen carefully there.
Why?
There's a spring nearby. Someone put a kind of little mill wheel on the stream below it. You can hear it going clap, clap, clap all day and night.
Uh-huh.
Once you find it, you go around the spring and nearby you'll see a clearing. That's where Hinnick's hideout is. It's an old mine gallery or cave. Farewell.
Dobra, czyli wychodzi tak naprawdę z tego, że to musi być tutaj ta jaskinia, o którą nam się rozchodzi. Te dwie są pewnie dla wypuchy zrobione. Dobra, opędzluję im trochę żarcia z gara. Siadamy i jedziemy. Z drobnymi problemami, ale się udało. Siadam z konia i mamy cutscenę.
Jesus Christ, what am I to do? Not that I can expect any useful advice from you. At least, you've no more cares.
Need someone to talk to?
Fuck! Don't kill me. I can explain. I won't tell anyone. I swear, I've no one to tell anyway. Just please don't kill me.
I'm not planning to kill you.
You're not one of Runt's men?
No.
Then who are you?
I come here in the name of Sir Radzig Kabila and Sir Hanish of Lipa. I'm investigating the raid on the Neuhoff stud farm.
Got no idea what you're on about.
Save your breath. If you want any chance to escape the gallows, you better come clean, all right?
Jesus Christ. This will never be over.
So?
Fine then.
That Neuhoff raid of yours didn't turn out quite as planned, did it?
Depends on whose plan you're talking about. We were up to it to grab some loot and bugger off. Only Rudd's cutthroats was there to shed blood.
What do you mean, Runt's cutthroats?
There were two gangs there, mine and Runt's. We was only there to steal, but they wanted to slaughter everyone.
But when you realised what
I
they
dlatego
had
się
in mind,
kłócili.
you had to go along with it, did you?
But we didn't know nothing, even though we were going to Neuhof. They told us to keep watch on the courtyard while they were cutting the horses' throats. Jesus, that fucking vexed me. Their horses was the most valuable thing there. When I spoke up, though, Runt gave me such a bollocking I knew I'd better keep my mouth shut. And when they said we was going to kill anything that moved, then we knew there was no going back.
That gang of yours, what can you tell me about them?
Don't know what you want to know. There was four of us. Me, Timmy, Limpy Lubosh, and Pius Pava. Sometimes we'd rob a place or hold up pilgrims. Never nothing fancy.
I'm sure you did mischief enough. Who led you?
Pius. He was the oldest, and he'd mostly find the jobs for us, plan them and the like. He got us into that fucking mess in Neuhof, too.
What about the others?
Timmy's strong as an ox, with a brain to match. You got more sense out of a fence post. And Limpy, I've been with him the longest. He's my one and only friend, I suppose.
Who got your two gangs together? You must have made contact somehow, right?
Pius. He comes to us and says he's got this prime job. We're gonna rob a farm, he says. That was a big deal, because mostly we just did small stuff. Hold up on the road now and then, nothing fancy. When they told us how much we could make on it, well, we just couldn't refuse.
So Pius knew them?
I suppose, but I don't know where from. We even got paid up front. I should have known from the start it was too good to be true.
Where did the rest of your gang end up?
You saw Limpy, right?
Yes, but he's no use to me now. Tell me where I can find Pius or Timmy.
I don't know nothing about Pius. He vanished in the woods, and I haven't seen him since. Timmy, I reckon, went back to the mill where he works.
Which mill?
The windmill a bit north of Neuhof.
Did you know any of Runt's people?
Not a one. They didn't talk to us at all. None of their faces was familiar either. The only thing I know is they called that huge chief of theirs Runt, and Pius warned us to watch out for him.
I don't suppose you know where they got to after the raid?
On the way to Neuhof, Timmy told me he was at their camp with Pius. I reckon that's where they've gone now.
Did Timmy tell you where the camp is?
Somewhere in the woods. He didn't say nothing more. Thing is, Timmy's got quite an imagination. But Pius roared at him to shut it, so I reckon there must be something in it.
Tell me exactly how the raid went down.
Well, we stormed in from the rear. Runt's people started slaughtering the horses. Jesus, that was bleeding horrible. Meanwhile, me and Limpy had a sniff round the stables to see if we could find anything worth pilfering. And in the end, we got lucky.
What did you find?
Smill, Sir Hanish's groom. I don't know why he was up and what he was doing in the stables, but we took advantage of the situation. Limpy grabs him by the throat and I slapped him round to encourage him to tell us where the money was. Then it all fell apart at the seams. Quicker than you'd believe. Runt comes running up and skewers the groom like a pig for roasting. My jaw dropped. I thought the stuff about killing was just tough talk.
And it wasn't?
No, not in the least.
What happened then?
I'm gaping at Smill, stuck through and through, and I noticed this boy standing at the other end of the stables. The stupid sods pointing at us, jaw hanging down to his knees, saying, "I know you." Runt turns to us and hisses, "Take him down." So me and Lubosh start running, because the lad took to his heels. At the same time, we could hear the noise of the skirmish in the courtyard. We caught up with the boy at the next farmhouse. I knock him to the ground, but he bashes me with some piece of iron so hard my head's ringing like a fucking church bell. Limpy grabs it off him and stands over him with his bodkin in his hand, and I start praying. In the end, Limpy just gives him a kick and says, "Beat it, Ginger." And then Runt shows up at the gate and hollers that we gotta go, so we scarp it.
What happened after the raid?
We were waiting for that fool, Timmy. Same place as we met them before, so he'd know where we were, right? Stupid fucking idea. But Pius didn't want to leave him behind. Only when Timmy finally turned up, 2 of Runt's men were dragging him.
There was some difference of opinion.
You could say that, yeah. They started on us right away that we were traitors. They knew we'd let somebody get away, and now we were going to pay for it. They started trying to surround us, and we knew what was coming. But Limpy took his bodkin and let that fucker have it in the belly.
Runt?
One of the others. Timmy broke free from them, and we all took to our heels. Luckily, they were so buggered from the raid, they didn't follow us for long. They just shouted that they'd find us.
That's all I need to know. So now what do I do with you?
Well?
Hey, over here! It's up the hill. Shh. Chief, we found the cave. Shut up. He'll hear you.
Oh, shit. Runs, people. We've got to get out of here.
They're too close. We'll never outrun them.
Fuck!
At least they don't know I'm here. The 2 of us can take them by surprise.
No fucking way. I'm gone.
Look here. If you run, they'll catch up with you and kill you. And me too. Together, we stand a better chance.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right. I suppose you're right.
I na tym kończymy zadanie na tropie. Bardzo serdecznie dziękuję wszystkim za oglądanie. Gorąco zapraszam do kolejnego odcinka. Na razie to tyle, także oby do zobaczenia.